Thank you, Heather.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, Heather. But being able to do on the back side of it, a goal setting call. And so I asked Kelly, and she was like, honestly, she was like, that sounds great for right now. She was like, but that's going to come back and bite those people later on because none of their team is going to know how to launch. And I just, first of all, want to apologize because I feel like I have not, there are many of you who do know how to launch, but then I feel like there are others who do not know how to launch because I've just always done it for everybody. But I'm going to teach y'all how to launch, how we're going to launch properly, how we're going to set people up for success. Because y'all, I feel like everybody on this team or everybody on this call right now, everybody's on fire. They are excited. There has been this little spark and it has just spread like wildfire across our team. And so people are adding people constantly. And some of your teams are about to start blowing up again. And so I want everybody to be prepared because we are elite ambassadors here. Okay. Y'all are leaders on this team now. Y'all are leaders in this company. And y'all have to be able to launch people and know how to launch people. Okay. So we're not doing big group launches anymore. The most that should ever be on a launch call is 2 to 3 people. New people. Okay. Max. Everybody has to have their picture, their camera turned on. Okay. This is a business, y'all. If you don't, I don't care what you look like. I mean, look at Casey. She's sitting in a, I'm teasing. Look at Caroline. She has her PJs on. I have my PJ pants on. Okay. Like, who cares? It doesn't matter. But this is a business. If you were on a call with your boss, would you have your camera turned off? I'm not your boss. You're your own boss. But I'm just saying, keep that into mind. Okay. So we want to be able to teach these people to be respectful, not only, and I don't mean these people are new people coming in, not only of your time, but their time as well, right? And to be able to take full advantage of it too. Our goal, y'all, is to have everybody come in and be launched in their first 24 to 48 hours. Y'all are leaders, like I said. Y'all have a team underneath you. You need to be the ones launching. Okay. So for instance, Sarah Watson, if Sarah has somebody who comes on, let's say she doesn't even personally recruit this person. Let's say somebody underneath her, Tatiana, for instance, recruits somebody. Not only should that new person be on, but her sponsor, Tatiana, should be on, and Sarah will be doing the launch call. There are a few executives who, yes, I have no doubt in my mind that they can do launch calls and do them very successfully. I have several actually on my team. But that should be something that you as a leader should be able to say, you know what, I'm not sure if they're really quite ready yet or not. Okay. In my opinion, most executives are not ready to launch. They don't even know how they got to executive. How are they going to be able to help other people, right? This is our team, y'all. This is your team. You want to build that solid foundation, those solid roots, right? And that comes with launching people properly in those first 24 to 48 hours. So, you all ready to take some notes? First of all, what they should have is you should send them the launch document. They need to have that in front of them. If they have the capabilities to print it off, they need to have it printed off and have already filled out a good portion of it. What they can fill out. They can fill out where their ambassador ID, they can fill out their website. They can write down their why. They can look at where they want to be for 90 days. Then you can go into further detail on all of those. Okay. Our goal, y'all, is to help these people come in and hit executive in their first 4 weeks. I know I probably sound like a broken record when I say that, because we're doing a training on it tomorrow for our whole entire team, but it's to help all of y'all who are leaders know how to hit or how to help your people do it. And then Wednesday night, Kelly Allred is doing a team for those people who have not hit executive yet on how to hit executive this month. Okay, so yes, I might be beating it like a dead horse, but y'all, that's how so many people are having such success. And I've come to the realization that these people are joining us because they are putting their trust in us. They have hopes, they have high hopes to get where y'all are right now, right? The only way that they're going to get there is by hitting Builder Pro Executive in those first full 30 days. And then those 4 people, let's say that they personally recruit, us helping them hit Builder Pro Executive, and then they are an elite ambassador. That's exactly how y'all became elite as well, or higher. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. If you do not, I still use the old, hold on, let me find it really quick. Hold on, I might have exited out of it. Here we go. Oh, also, hold on. Happy birthday to Tracy. She's on tonight on your birthday, Tracy. That's amazing. That is commitment right there, y'all. Okay, can y'all see this? Okay, so if you look in your back office, or even if you just look in your app, you're not going to see this same exact one. There's one that's much longer. It's like 4 pages long. I like this one because it's super short and condensed. So if you do not have this, the way you can have access to this is in your app. You can sign up for a private page, and it's called the Movement 2020. I can't remember how you actually get to it. Does anybody know how to, where you put it in, the password and stuff? Do y'all know what I'm talking about in your app?
I think you have to be guided. It's the easiest way.
No, it was, it's on your app.
Team access code.
What'd you say, Sarah?
Team access codes.
Yes. That's where it is, team access codes. So it's the Movement 2020 is the password and everything that you need. And that's where you can find this document. I like to use this just because it's super short and condensed, I mean. Okay, so this is launching their business. Y'all, we need and have to make sure that we are screening every single person that is coming in, and we are teaching our team to do the same thing. I have talked to people who have personally recruited 5 people, and they're like, they're not executive yet. And I'm like, well, all we need to do is help those people just get a few customers or ambassadors, and you're executive. And she's like, well, I mean, they're not really wanting to do this anymore. And I was like, well, they just did it not long at all. And she was like, well, I mean, I think it was like that easy bait. Like they just took the bait. It was that easy sign up that I could do. And we don't want that. I would rather have 50 really quality ambassadors who are ready to launch their business, who can dedicate 5 to 7 hours, who can have their auto ship on, who can spend that $200 and spend it every single month, who can, show up for stuff, who can commit, right? Who have that work ethic, that desire, that commitment, that ability to be coachable. I'd rather have 50 than 400, because the majority of those 400 people are going to fall off because they weren't qualified, right? So make sure that we are teaching our teams to qualify our ambassadors. Screen them. Okay, So I like to start off talking about this first thing up here at the top. The most important things that you can bring to your key business is work ethic, desire, commitment. And I'll tell them, when I say commitment, I mean being able to commit. If you're saying 5 to 7 hours a week, you're showing up 5 to 7 hours a week. And it's not 5 to 7 hours a week on trainings. It's 5 to 7 hours a week spent in action, following up with people, reaching out to people, three-way chats, whatever it may be, okay? The ability to be coachable. This is huge, y'all. Every single one of y'all are on this call right now because you are coachable. Honestly, if people are not coachable, they are not making it to those first 3 ranks and beyond. And then y'all, if y'all have ever been on my launch, y'all know I always add in a 6th thing, and that's discipline. Discipline is huge. We're not disciplined to, or people aren't disciplined to show up to I'm sorry, y'all can't think right now. People are not motivated to show up to the gym every day. They're disciplined, even then they don't feel like doing it. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I don't feel like doing this call right now, but I knew that y'all were counting on me, and I couldn't put it off on somebody else to do it. So I was disciplined in showing up. Tracy, it's her birthday. She's disciplined in showing up. Okay. And then you also, I mean, that's what I look for in who I'm trying to work with. Y'all, we get to pick and decide who we want to work with. I look for all of those characteristics too. Okay. Then you talk about their personal website. This like little next 4 things should be like 2 minutes long. Okay. Ambassador ID number, where they can find it. They can find it underneath their picture, underneath their name, and their back office. Why it's important, you have to be able to call customers. When you call customer service, chatting with customer service, you need that information. Their silver upline leader. For right now, it's me. We're about to start popping lots of silvers on here, so I'm really excited for all y'all. But the reason why that's important is because that silver has a ambassador development liaison, and that person can help us with all of the things. That's all they need to know. Okay. Their start date, they need to know how important this is and why it's important. You are not pushing somebody, y'all, and being too pushy or being too aggressive when you're telling them that they need to hit these first 3 ranks. Okay, they should at least be hitting pro, so they're making their money back that they invested and putting some extra money in their pocket. You want to make it worthwhile to them. But y'all, if somebody is hitting executive, they are staying around here 8 months longer than they would if they wouldn't have. I have one girl on my team who has not hit executive yet. She has been here for a year, y'all. And she is still around, and I am completely shocked. That is not the norm. And she's still working. Like, that's what's amazing. She's never stopped. She hasn't given up, ever. That's not the norm, though. Normally, if they're not hitting it in their first couple of months, they're out. You want to, like I said, those roots. You want to dig down those roots, okay? Then I'll talk about their why, and I spend a good amount of time on this, and I make them kind of get a little deep with me. And yeah, you don't know these people, but that's okay. You need them to open up to you and to be vulnerable, okay? So I will say, your why is what's going to drive you. It's what's going to keep you going forward when times are tough, when you don't want to necessarily do this. Your why has to be bigger than your why not. Okay? And then I'll ask them, what is your why? When times get hard, what's going to push you forward? And so there's one girl, actually I was called Anaya. I'm not going to call her out, but she'll know who she is when I start talking and saying this. But she said her why was to be able to be at home with her children. And I said, that's wonderful. Why? Why is that important to you? And she was like, well, because I mean, I want to be here and I don't want anybody else to raise them. I want to raise them myself. I don't want to have to send them off to daycare or after school care or whatever. I said, okay, great. Why is that important? And she was like, well, I want to be able to create memories with them and be with them. And I mean, like, you know, I'm looking at these sweet kiddos on Casey. But that's what it's all about, y'all. I mean, seriously, like being able to be there. And I said, okay, why is it important to create memories? And she's like, because they are only in my house for 18 years. And that's when I knew that I pulled on those heartstrings. Y'all, when she hits bronze, she gets to stay home. She's already elite. That's amazing. So you want to help peel those onion layers back and really help them get to that why. When people tell me I'm here to help people, I like to preface the whole why thing at the beginning of we're all here to help people. We all want to help people feel good. We all want to help people with their finances, but really, truly, what is your why? Why are you doing this business opportunity? And it's not to bring these products to people. It's something bigger. And a lot of people don't want to say it because they feel like it's selfish, but it's okay. Finances drive us, y'all. That's how it is. And you have to get down deep with people. Because I had a call earlier I didn't have a call. We were chatting back and forth with somebody. And they said that they were ready. I mean, she just joined a couple of weeks ago. And she was like, normally, I would have given up by now. Because this is harder than I thought it was. And she said, but then I remembered my why and how you helped me dig deep with my why, Katie. And that is what made me continue to push forward. I promise y'all, this is such a huge section right here. Okay. Then I talked to them about their vision, how I want them to write down their vision plan, their 5-year goals. Where do they see themselves in 5 years with Q being that vehicle of helping them get there? They wake up 5 years from now. Where are they? What do they see? What do they smell? What do they hear? How old are their children? Are they still in the same house? Are they in a different house? Are they still working? Or is their spouse still working? Whatever it may be. Allow them to dream big and to create that clear vision of what they know that they're working for. Yo, I had written down my vision, but I did not have a clear vision until January of 2021. And then I started running and I knew exactly what I was working for. Having them also get their family involved with this, to have that support. If they have kiddos, they're going to be taking a little bit of extra time away from their children. Those children need to understand why mommy is not around as often, or not around, but you know what I mean, while she's working more. They may not be used to it. That's what I did. I shared with my boys our goals of what we were wanting to do. We created like a sheet and put it on our refrigerator. And it had all the ranks that I wanted to hit, and it was like one of those meters, and they were able to color in each time. And they were my little accountability partners, and it got annoying because they'd say, all right, Mom, I had literally just hit executive. They're like, are you elite yet? And once I hit elite, are you pro yet? Like the next day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe this was not a good idea because they were making me feel like a total like failure. But it kept me driving forward. It got them involved and they were excited to where we had a trip that we were going to go on at the end of it all. Get your family involved and tell the people that you're doing this with to get their families involved. Okay? Okay, so goal setting. This is that laundry cycle. And you tell them that. It's a cycle because it's never ending just like laundry. Okay, peaking interest, however that may be. You'll share with them about going live on Facebook. If people don't want to go live on Facebook, they don't have to. But I know the majority of you guys did, and look where you are now. Okay? Going live on Facebook is huge because it's not something normally that we do. Piquing interest. Picking up the phone and calling people. I know Caroline Kelly, she's done with the messaging. She's literally, Caroline, unmute yourself.
Hey.
Hi. Are you asking people just for their number? Like how I mean, you told me yesterday, you're like, I'm done.
Yes, I've had so much better luck, and I just feel better about what I'm doing when I talk to people on the phone. And so if I don't know their phone numbers, I just message them. I voice message them on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, super random, but I have something I want to talk to you about. When would be a good time to call? And then, I mean, if they don't answer, then I follow up. But usually they're like, hey, you can call me Saturday. My number is this, or you can just call them through Facebook Messenger. And that has been amazing. I've enjoyed it so much. Like, I've just enjoyed talking to people. And they just can hear your voice, and they trust your voice. It's anybody can send a message, anybody can copy and paste whatever, but it's just really been refreshing for me.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And I mean, I was talking to Tara today because we all go through these times where we get in ruts and we're like, oh my gosh, like I've gotten a lot of no's lately. Like I'm just saying, I've gotten a lot of no's lately. And I started getting in a rut of, oh, like, I don't know if I can continue to keep reaching out to people, right? So of course I call Tara and she sets me straight once again. But she was like, Katie, you're making it about yourself. It's not about you, it's about them. And y'all, it's so true. It's about them. It's not about us. It's how we can help them. It's not how they can help us. So if we teach our people in the beginning to be able to look at it that way, that can go so much further. Okay. So piquing interest, webinar. And I feel like y'all, the webinar and the three-way call, they're kind of, I feel like interchangeable. Okay. It's not going to be a perfect little, everything's going to fit into this perfect little package. Okay. Webinar could be inviting to an informal call. It could be sending a 4-minute video of the CEO call, or it could be the 9-minute video of the compensation plan, or it could be just sending a PDF or whatever it may be, getting some type of third-party resource in their hand before you are connecting them to somebody. Because here's the thing, you don't want to waste your upline's time or sponsor's time or mentor or whoever's helping you or that other person's time if they have no clue. I have literally been put in conversations before on a Zoom and these people had absolutely no clue why they were on. It was embarrassing for me. It was awkward. So teaching our people to send a webinar or something to where these people know what it is they're actually getting on a call with, right? 3-way call, 3-way chat. No one should be doing a call on products. If people are interested in products, they just need to be in a 3-way chat. Okay? Everybody else can do 3-way calls. I feel like the more intimate the call, the better. I've been doing a lot of informal little calls with all of y'all, with 3, 4, 5 people on, and they're so good. It's just an intimate time, right? Where it's just a few amount of people, many of them probably know each other, a place for them to kind of ask questions, things of that nature. Okay. Additional exposure if needed. Y'all, this is so important. Fortune is in the follow-up. This is exactly what that is. It takes anywhere from like, I don't know, I always mess this up, but like 7 to, I think I say something new every single time. 7 to like 18 touches. I'll have to get the exact numbers, but I know it's around there. If anybody knows exactly, y'all chime in. 7 to 18 touches before somebody makes a decision to jump in, right? It may not be the right fit for somebody. It may not be the right time. but continuously dripping on them and following up with them. Casey, I'm going to need you to turn your camera off at this time. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, here's the thing too, y'all. If you are not following up, and this is what I tell my people, I know y'all know this. I'm just teaching you guys how to do this, okay? If you're not following up with your people, then somebody else is going to follow up with them and they're going to join their team. It's plain and simple. It's happened to me so many times, okay? Close by edification of upline. Your upline is going to be able to help you close with that three-way chat or with that three-way call. Launch, repeat, okay? It's that laundry cycle. Then I go into the Q rewards point system. I talk to them about how important it is for the auto ship to be turned on. It is a no-brainer. We had 200 people join last month, y'all, and 125 of those had their auto ship turned on. Do y'all know how insanely amazing that is? Like, that's huge. And it's because it was that duplication. It was not an option. They knew they had to turn it on. Okay? Talking to people about if they don't have, it's like their utility bill. This is what I tell everybody. It's their utility bill, it's their light bill. This is what helps keep their open sign on. They can use it for themselves. They can turn around and resell it for retail pricing and make money off of it. Or they can send it out as samples. If they send it as samples, then that can also be a tax deductible write-off for them. So they're going to be able to get points back. They're leaving money on the table if they don't have that auto ship turned on. Okay. So, did y'all hear Jake, was it today or Friday, talking about working week to week, right? And to be able to print those reports off. Y'all are all elite ambassadors. Everyone should have the Pro app. I'm just going to be honest. You should be able to run, and I don't know who on here has it and who doesn't, so I'm not talking to anybody in particular, okay? But you should be able to run your reports weekly. Okay? So being able to run on a Sunday, who all needs to hit rank? Who all is close to hitting a rank? To where you're helping them that entire week hit that rank. If somebody has already hit builder, you're helping them hit pro by the end of the week. Working week to week. Okay? So that's what I tell them right here. Our first goal, so if we're launching somebody on a Monday, our first goal by next Monday is to help you hit builder. This is what you need to do it. And I give them several different scenarios. You can go sign 2 people, both of them coming in with 150 in personal volume. So 150 equals 300 and your builder. Or if they both come in with 100 in volume, so it's 100, 100, you can go and personally sponsor a third person and your builder. Or you can help these 2 people go and get a couple of customers and your builder, or a couple or ambassador each and your builder. Whatever it may be, helping that person really understand. Talking to that person about who are your first 2 people who you think will join you. Everybody to this call should bring 15 to 20 people. They should already have their list made, y'all. 15 to 20 people of people that they want to reach out to. Because this section right here is only going to take 30 minutes. I am going into greater detail with you guys because I'm trying to help you guys understand and explain. This should only take 30 minutes to where you have another 30 minutes to help them with reaching out. Sometimes that second 30 minutes turns into an hour because y'all are on a roll, and it's okay if they're okay with it, right? But being able to make sure that you are respectful of people's time. Okay, so next we get into, this is the business planning. Okay, their first week goal, depending on the person, because there's going to be some people that come in and they are go-getters and they hit executive in their first week, and that might be their first week goal, and you might already know that. So you tell them you can do this, right? We have to have that belief in people so they have it in themselves as well. So helping them come up with that first week goal. But then we talk about the 90-day goal. We work in 90-day increments like quarters. So I'll ask them, do you have 5 to 7 hours a week to spend on this? Do you have 10 to 15 hours, 20 to 25, or 40 and plus? Okay, if it's 5 to 7 hours, then that should put them as an elite ambassador by the end of 90 days. If it is 10 to 15, bronze, 20 to 25, silver, gold, and up is the 40. If you have somebody who wants to be a gold and up ambassador in 90 days and they understand and get the work, then you need to connect them with me. And you and I and their sponsor together can help them. Okay? Okay. So then I break it down and I say, okay, you want to be an elite ambassador by the end of May. This is what it's going to look like. We're going to help you with hitting builder by the end of this week to where you're hitting executive by the end of March. And I break it down. That's 1,500 in organizational volume. That's 15 orders. You need to be hitting pro by this day. Like, so I'm breaking each section down for them, okay? 60 days, they need to be halfway to elite, so 2250. To where by the end of May, they're hitting elite for sure. Bronze is 10 to 15 hours. They are needing to hit executive by the 24th of March to where they are well on their way to elite. Y'all, we don't want people having to like, it's one thing if you're running for bigger ranks and whatever else, but you want to help people like measure out these ranks to where they're saying, I mean, I want to be this by the end of the month. Okay, well then let's back it up and let's be that by the 24th or 25th of the month. So you have the rest of that month to start running closer to the next rank to where you're for sure hitting that next rank by the end of the next month. Does that make sense? So bronze, hitting executive by the 24th of this month to where they are getting really close to hitting elite. They're hitting elite by the middle, if not by the 20th of April, to where they're for sure hitting bronze by the end of May. Okay, silver, hitting executive by the 15th of this month, hitting elite by the last day of the month here, hitting bronze by like the 20th of April, 24th of April, something like that, to where they are hitting silver by the end of May. And like I said, gold, then you just tell them that y'all need to come and we'll help them come up with a better plan. Then on this call, y'all are scheduling their Fab 5, their informal call. I don't even call it a Fab 5 anymore because people are like, oh, I just have to invite 5 people? Okay. No, they need to invite 15 to 20 people to this call. That's why I said make sure that they bring a list of 15 to 20 people. It's an informal call. You, as their elite ambassador, are going to do this informal call with them. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable yet and you want some practice, you can bring in your closest bronze ambassador or myself, and we will help you that first time. But y'all have all seen it enough to where y'all can do it on your own. But that first time, what we'll do is we'll help you split it up. Okay. I promise you, it's going to be scary. It's going to be out of your comfort zone. Even if you haven't done these launches before on your own, doing them on your own now. But the more you do them and the more you practice, the better you're going to get. Okay. I got thrown into it very early because my team was growing out of control. And they couldn't, Tara and Kalina couldn't help me in all the stuff. And they're like, you have to start helping doing stuff. So I think I was executive in doing it. So I promise if I can do it, y'all can do it. Okay. These are some okay scripts. I don't love them. But going back to that informal call though, you need to be scheduling it. So if you had a launch call tonight, that informal call needs to be either tomorrow night, no later than Wednesday. No later than 48 hours. I know for a lot of the people that are on this call, they had their informal calls. They were literally turning around and doing it 12 hours later and inviting that same day. Because the thing is if you invite people too early or too far in advance, people are like, oh yeah, I'll be there. And then something always comes up. But if you can call them the morning of and say, hey, what do you have going on tonight? More than likely, nothing's going to come up between now and that time. And they're more than likely going to be able to show up. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I go to the next page. Okay. So this is your list. This is helping them with their buckets. Okay. They said that there's 3 buckets. I'm going to do 4 buckets. Okay. The first bucket are those people that are super easy. You can sell dirt to. They're going to say yes because they support you in all of the things. I don't talk about a list of 100, y'all, because when you're brand new and somebody's telling you to make a list of 100, that's scary. So that's why I always say 15 to 20 people. Okay. That second bucket are people who you're like, you know what? I haven't talked to them in a really long time, but they would be amazing at this. I would love to start rekindling that relationship with them to be able to eventually get them in here. That third bucket are those people that you're like, oh my gosh, if I could get them on my team, they would be killer at this, but I hardly even know them. They're a way bigger leader than I am. They make way more money than I do. I am so scared to reach out to them. And then the fourth bucket are people who you're like, you know what? I wouldn't love to work with them, but I think that they need these products. I know that they could benefit from these products. If they don't come, I mean, I would encourage them to come with a list of 15 to 20 people, especially that 15 to 20 people of that low-hanging fruit. If they don't come, you're going to help them at this time with finding those 15 to 20 people. Because sometimes people are like, I don't know. I sat down with somebody and the other day and she told me she didn't know. And by the end of it, we had a list of 30 plus people for her. Okay. Then you talk to them about staying plugged in, adding them to Q News, the movement. Everybody on your team should be added to the movement, y'all. You have to add them and they have to answer the questions on there or else they won't be approved. They can't go search for the movement either because it's not a public page. Okay. This one is called Discovering a Quintessential Life, but we actually have one for our team that's called Quintessential Living, or Living Quintessentially, sorry. It's a good prospect page. And then there's also our Rise Up page. This is not necessarily, this is more of an incentive page. I swear to y'all, I'm announcing the winners tomorrow of our Platinum Run. But it's more of an incentive page, an encouragement page, a congratulations page, all the things, okay? Our Q community chat. I know it's out of control, y'all. but I feel like it's a really good place for people to go to ask questions. And I was actually going to shut it down, but somebody told me not to, because it's that page where, or that place where people can go ask those questions and they can get them answered really quickly. And so we're just going to leave it. And I know it doesn't make everybody happy, but it makes the majority of the people happy. And that's what we're here to do. Okay. All right. Then I have them write down the FFM email address, ffm@qsciences.com. I tell them that they need to, when we get off the phone or the next day, that they need to email them and reach out and tell them they're new, they're ready to get started on being mentored. If you have not done it yet, you need to do it as well. This is huge, y'all. Okay. If you haven't done it, how do you expect to tell your team to do it? Whether you feel like you need it or not, whether you already have a financial advisor or not, I promise you, because of this free capability that we have, this is also what is going to keep people on your team and keep people going. When they realize that they have this amazing opportunity to have this coaching, it's huge. But that coach is also going to help them with their goals in this business as well. Where do you see yourself in ever how long? They help them all that too. It keeps people here because they see the value in it and they're being added to. Okay. The last 30 minutes is I seriously help them with getting into action. I have had many women, it make them extremely uncomfortable, but by the time that they get off the phone, they are thanking me and telling me that's exactly what they needed, even though they were scared, even though I was pushing them out of their comfort zone. I had one lady the other day, oh my gosh, y'all, I thought she was gonna you could tell she was so nervous. But I know now she's had put her sponsor in several chats, and I think she's gotten a couple of customers from it too. So it works, I promise. Okay, so you help them. Y'all go ahead and you say, okay, this is when we're going to have our informal call. You help them with inviting to that informal call. You make them pick up their phone. Texting is not an option. It's not. You are hurting yourself and your future team and that person if you're letting them text people. They need to pick up the phone and call them. So that's what I have them do first, is I will tell them, who are the people on that list that you feel comfortable calling and you have their number? Let's do them first. Then I have them tell me about each person. Okay, tell me about the first person. Amy, she's my childhood friend. She's amazing. She works, but I know she'd love to stay at home. Okay, pick up the phone. Let's call Amy. And this is what you're going to say. She's your best friend, right? Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh, Amy, I know this is crazy. This is coming out of left field, but I have found something that is going to help you with staying home with your babies. I want you to do this with me. We do everything together in life. You're my person always. And I know you're going to think I'm so crazy, but please just hear me out on this. Can you jump on this call tonight at 8 o'clock? I've started my own business. I want you to be a part of this. This is what you need. Help them through all of that, but make them just be real. The more real they are and the more down to earth and upfront and thinking not of themselves, but of that other person and why that other person needs to do it and how this is going to help that other person, it's going to come natural to them. Okay, really helping guide them. You are going to be on the other end of this while they're doing it. You can turn your camera off if it makes them feel uncomfortable. You can mute yourself, but tell them that you're going to be chatting and listening, and you're going to be chatting in the chat section of the Zoom to help them with pointers, to help remind them of things that they need to say and whatever else. Okay. So thank you all so much for coming and jumping on. I really appreciate it because I know it's late. I know everybody's tired, but I wanted just to share all of this with you guys because I want us to all be on the same page with launching. I know we have big teams coming in and it's going to take extra work and extra time, but I promise you it will be 100% worth it when you are duplicating this down. And y'all are popping elites and all these other elites are helping as well. It's going to take a lot of time off of you. I heard somebody say today that starting a business like this is like an airplane taking off. It takes tons of energy at first, right? Like tons of energy, tons of momentum to get started. But once you get started and you've created that momentum and that duplication, then it's just smooth sailing. And it's not always like that. Yes, it's going to have dips like this. But if you have that system going and you're teaching every single person below you to do it and they're replicating and duplicating that, I'm finally starting to see it. Finally. It took me a long time to do this because I was trying to do it all myself. I'm obviously a control freak. I like to have control of everything. Okay. And so by me giving up this control, it's starting to duplicate it. I wish I would have done it forever ago. So I am telling you, you don't have to do it all. If you don't have elites underneath you, it's okay. Let's help those people who are executive get to elite, and then they can help you with doing it as well. Okay. What questions do y'all have?
So, hey, Katie, you talked about not doing videos. Are you still attaching like that video that Tara has in the movement, the launch video in an email or something at the beginning?
I mean, you can if you want to. I've never used that.
Okay.
If you want to do that in the beginning, you can, but that should not be the launch.
Okay.
Like you still need to go through the entire launch with them. This is what Kelly is telling me. Kelly is saying these people who are doing videos, it is going to come back and bite them.
Okay.
Because I was like, let me clarify this. They taught on this at convention. She's like, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions?
Okay.
My name is Miss Katie.
Hi. Luchita, do you have something?
I do. So here's what I've run into as far as goal setting. Like if I have them fill things out ahead of time, they're like, okay, I want to be platinum in, whatever a short amount of time, but they don't know the hours do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I need to give them that to be able to goal set.
Oh yeah, I do goal setting on the call with them.
Okay.
That's
Okay, so you don't have them fill that part out yet as far as their 90-day goal?
I mean, they can if they want to, I like to see what people say, honestly.
Okay.
Y'all, hold on one second. My mom has called 4 times. 1 second, please.
Oh.
Okay. So I like to kind of see what they say. Like some people like peg it right on the money, and then other people aim way too high, And I just like to say, you know, this is realistic. These are expectation, you know what I mean? But like I still already have them do it.
Okay.
Because this is my thought, Luchita. If they're doing it and they're saying they want to be platinum, that's what they want to be. So how are we going to help them get there? Maybe not in the 90 days, right? But being able to
Right.
come up with a plan on how to get to that actual rank eventually.
Okay.
Anyone else? Do y'all feel confident in being able to do this? I know a lot of y'all already do it.
Hey, Katie.
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
one question. Okay, so I have a girl that is struggling, and I've been like, get me on a call with Upline, like, let us help you. Well, finally, last night, her response to me was, no offense, they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to talk to any of y'all. They only want to talk to me. Like, what do I say to that? I'm just like, do I just let it go? Like, she's not a coachable person, or?
Okay, so I like to do in circumstances like that, situations like that, I like to say that use the feel, felt, found of I understand how they feel. I felt the same way. I was super leery about connecting with somebody else because I didn't want to be sold to and all the things. But this is what I found. This is our system that we have, and it works. I didn't get to be where I am in this business without using the system. And so that's why I'm trying to help you with connecting. I connected my people to Anna, and Anna helped me, right?
Right.
So that's how I would do. And just tell these people, just say, listen, like, I'm just going to validate everything you've already told them. But also them hearing somebody else's testimony, my health testimony, my financial testimony, it's going to be different from yours and the next person, right? So kind of explaining to them of the importance of why we do that.
Gotcha. Okay. I kind of told her that how I used my upline, but I didn't go into as far as the testimonies like you're saying. So I think I'll try that next.
Yeah, and I mean, even tell her this, like, we all have a wonderful testimony, right? But not everybody's going to be able to relate to me, and not everybody's going to be able to relate to Kendall's testimony or Sarah's testimony, right? So being able to pull in other people who they're also going to be able to relate to as well can be huge. Not everybody's going to be able to relate to her testimony and what she has done.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Thank you all so much for being on. I hope this was helpful. I hope that y'all feel comfortable being able to do this. So all of these people that we're not doing these big group launch calls anymore. They weren't working, and I think they were doing more harm than good, honestly. So people who were on these launch calls, if you see something in them and you're like, you know what, this person needs to be relaunched again, you need to relaunch them. All of these teams have just really grown. And so being able to reach down, it's okay if Molly, for instance, these people are not your personally sponsored ambassadors. They're below your personally sponsored, but you see something in them. It's okay. They're part of your team just as much as they're part of anyone else's team, right? It's okay to reach down, introduce yourself, and say, hey, I would love, something about you caught my eye, or tell them why. What caught your eye about them? I would love to help you. Okay? Because the success of them determines your success as well. Right? If you have those relationships with people, they're not going to go anywhere when their upline goes somewhere. If their upline quits or says this isn't for them anymore, well, they still have Molly, or they still have Dana, or whomever. Okay.
I think too, like Molly, on the edification thing, like, when they put you in a three-way chat and they are edifying you and you're giving them like you're presenting, I think the other thing too is it gives you a chance to kind of like edify that person too. And like the person's introducing you, like, so like with Sarah and I, or like Kendall's done it to me like before, is that like Kendall gets on the call with me and she helps edify me as a leader. So this person that I'm bringing in is also like, hey, like she's somebody I want to align with. And like, Sarah and I work a lot together. So she brings somebody to the table, she edifies me, I share, tell my story, we go through the process. And then I'm like, Sarah's an amazing leader. She's got such an amazing testimony, but she's also got crazy business sense. You want to be doing this with her. And then it like also lifts Sarah up in that situation. And if you do that, like if they hear you do that for them, that might also kind of solidify that process where they're like, hey, Molly just lifted me up to my people. And I think it kind of goes full circle. And I think that's that is a value you can add back to them too in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love that. And that's so true. 100% true.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. And I've just got to trust. They've got to trust me to let me help them, to let me and my upline friends help. And it's just making them understand that. So that's kind of where I'm frustrated right now, because I'm just plain begging, please let us help you. I had to have help. Let us help you. Like I can help you.
So that person, obviously they might have been launched, but maybe they were not listening to that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe we relaunch them.
Yeah. Good idea.
And you and maybe Anna, right? No, you're Lindsay. You and Lindsay, you're under Lindsay, right? You and Lindsay
Yeah.
doing it together and
Yes.
y'all really honing in on that specific part.
Well, and it may be too that yes, you got them in with you because of the third party validation, but I still believe that third party validation it's like the glue that keeps everybody together, because even